I'm not a part of this working group that's been convened to discuss sports wagering, but I have talked about it with several of the members. I've talked about it with Senator Julie Rocky Adams. I've talked about it with Senator Morgan McGarvey. And I plan to be very involved in crafting legislation on sports wagering. I support it. I'm still in the information gathering mode, but I do think we should legalize it. I think we can put the votes together on a bipartisan basis to legalize it, and I think it's something that Kentucky should do. We have legalized sports wagering right now. It's called parimutuel wagering on horse racing. And I think we ought to, with certain restrictions and regulatory oversight, legalize it in Kentucky. I haven't had an extended conversation with racetracks about it. I think everybody's kind of watching what's happening in the other states like New Jersey and Delaware, where, by the way, they have legalized sports wagering at their racetracks. But I think the racetracks would be interested in this. It's a different sort of model than parimutuel wagering, but I think that they can adjust and adapt and operate it, and I think they probably would want to host it at the brick and mortar racetrack location.
Welcome back to In Focus Kentucky. We're continuing our conversation with Kentucky State Representative Jason Nemeth as we discuss sports betting legislation and the drafting of a new bill that would permit sports betting on collegiate and professional sports in our state. Horse tracks, they seem to be a natural place to house the sports betting. Is that what the panel or you're thinking as well?
Well, that's something that we're going to discuss, and so I mean, it's not up to me alone; it's up to a lot of us. But my ideal, if I could just put it, Representative Nemeth's, my own views, is that the horse racing industry should be involved in this. I would love for, to the extent they're interested in it, for them to get a license and provide those options to their patrons. But I don't think it should be only placed at horse racing companies or tracks. I think other licensees should be able to come in and join the market to the extent that there's enough of a market and there's interest there. But I do think that horse tracks are uniquely qualified because they've already shown their ability to Kentuckians to do this the right way. And Churchill Downs, which their headquarters is in my district in Louisville, Churchill Downs already has online gaming for their horse racing, and so they're already equipped. And so I'd like to see horse racing companies in Kentucky involved in this effort.
And obviously we've discussed horse racing, but where does the professional sports and collegiate athletics rank in there in this conversation as well?
One of the things that our working group is going to do is we're going to seek out meetings with all of the universities. We have one with one university already on the agenda. And so we want to get their input. That's our state universities. The professional sports leagues have had representatives reach out to us, and we're going to be scheduling meetings with them. They're very interested in making sure that integrity in their product is maintained, and we are as well. I would note that that I think they're wanting what's called an integrity fee, which is a percentage of the revenues that are brought in. From my perspective, I don't think other states have done that yet, and so I'm not interested in doing that. The 4 million Kentuckians, whether we go sports gaming or not, it's probably not going to have any kind of outcome on whether the Timberwolves and the Warriors have corruption in their game. But I do want to make sure that we meet with them, and if it makes sense that we move forward with integrity fees or something like that. So we're meeting with all those interested parties. There's a lot to do, and that's we haven't even talked about. We need to meet with the voters. I'm talking to a lot of voters in my district, and it's overwhelmingly favored in my area. But when we talk, there's a lot of questions. Should there be local option? Should you have to have a brick and mortar, or can you just do it online? Yes to professional sports, no to high school and below. But what about college? And you don't have to say yes or no to college. You could say have a hybrid. You could have yes, except for no Kentucky universities, or yes, but only revenue-generating sports. So there's a lot of questions that we want to address and talk with constituents and interested parties about.
And do you think that once this bill officially does become drafted, the governor, he's kind of said that he wants legislators to work this out. Is the goal to hopefully convince the governor as well and to get in full support of this bill?
No doubt about it. I've reached out to the governor's office, and we want to see what they would like in the bill. We would like for him to be advocating for it if possible. But if he can't advocate for it, we like him to at least sign the bill when it's passed. We want the governor on board. This governor, Governor Bevin, is very persuasive when he's on message, and we'd like for him to get on our team and to help us out. If he's not going to join us, then we're going to move forward anyway. But we would love to have our governor on board. He's someone that we respect, and we'd like to benefit from his the bully pulpit and his wisdom.
Do you anticipate having public forums for people in your district, but people throughout the state to come and share their thoughts and opinions on this topic?
It will certainly be discussed in public at committee meetings and so forth. If there's an appetite for public forums, like a town hall meeting, that's fine. I've had 4 in my district since being elected. I enjoy them. I think the citizens get a lot out of them. I know I get a lot out of talking to constituents. And if there's an appetite for that, I think we'd certainly be open to having that kind of a discussion. I think in addition to this particular topic, I think we're moving forward in the right way. We have senators and House members, Republicans and Democrats, and so we need to start doing that, using that kind of approach to all of the things that we do. We're not going to agree on everything, but we need to try to do better. And so we can use this little issue, not a little issue, but use this issue as maybe a catalyst to doing right on broader things. And having a town hall would be, with Democrats and Republicans there answering questions, joining and supporting each other. I think it would be wonderful.
And could you see this being one of the main top priorities for you during this 2019 legislative session coming up?
It is. It's one of the top priorities for me. There's a lot of priorities. Obviously, criminal justice reform is always going to be my #1 priority. We spend way too much in Kentucky on criminal justice reform. We have to figure that out. And there are some other things I'm interested in as well. But I think sports betting is important, not only because it's important in and of itself, but we should be doing more things in the gaming industry as well in Kentucky. Where I'm from, I can drive 15 minutes and I'm at a casino. So we already have casinos in our area. We're just foolish enough to send the money to Indianapolis. We need to be sending that money to Frankfort. And so sports gaming is good as in and of itself, but it's also hopefully will lead us to better things.
Representative Nemes, thank you so much for breaking down some of the plans that you have in place and the work we're doing to get the committee formed as well on this particular issue.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now next we'll speak with Kentucky Public Radio's Ryland Barton to provide analysis on the Supreme Court decision to legalize sports betting and if there will be enough votes in both sides of the aisle to get a bill passed during the 2019 General Assembly. Coming up next on In Focus Kentucky.